Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
It's always a challenge going right before lunch because everyone's mind is already on what they're going to eat for lunch, and then after lunch because everyone's so full they're falling asleep. But I don't want you to fall asleep for what I'm about to show you, because today you're going to be able to learn some tricks of the trade that are going to take your business to the next level. Now, I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people. So if you're in this room and you want to grow your business in the next year, I just want you to raise your hand. Show me. Raise your hand if you want to grow your business. If you want to provide your clients with really good customer service, raise your hand. If you want to stay on top of the curve and really be able to be ahead of what your competitors are doing and differentiate yourself from all those other clinics and med spas that are not here, raise your hand. Perfect. So these are the people that I want to talk to. I want to talk to you guys. And I want to talk to you about the revolution that's happening. It's a revolution. I'm sure you've heard whispers of it, right? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, optimizing my website. This is a revolution that's happening. And if you're not part of this revolution, you're going to get left behind. And when you get left behind, what happens? You go out of business, you lose money, no one's ever even heard of your company's name. So it's important that you join the revolution so you can get some results from social media. So what is social media? Social media is actually, it's been around now since the beginning of computers, right? Back in the day, there used to be chat rooms, message boards. These are the places that you would go to communicate with others and get information. But social media now has evolved. And there's a couple different sectors of social media. There's paid social media where you pay for advertising for Google. You do Google AdWords. So when someone types in mesotherapy, we want your website, your clinic to be the first one that shows up, and we have advertising that you see on the side. Then we have earned, and this is something that you do. It takes a while to earn this type of marketing, because it's word of mouth, it's having a great Facebook page and interacting with those clients. So over time, you can't pay for that. You have to really earn it. And then you have the one that you own. So your website, you're in control of everything that goes on your website. So these are different types of ways that you could communicate with your client. So who is doing it right? Because I'm sure you heard of it. You might hear some, you might follow, maybe some people aren't. If just by show of hands, who's on Facebook? Who has their company on Facebook? Perfect. Oh, that's great. So I'm going to show you some people who are doing it right. Dell is a perfect example of a company that's doing it the right way. By the end of 2009, just by using Twitter alone, they generated $6.5 million worth of sales. And of course, this is a huge company. You know, you might not be able to do that as a smaller or medium-sized organization, but the whole point is that you could get some great results by using it right, in the right way. Comcast is another example. So Dell increased their sales. Comcast was able to increase their level of customer service. So back in 2008, Frank set up a Twitter account. And what he did was he was searching and listening to what the clients wanted. And some of them were having troubles, right? Some of them were complaining about this horrible Comcast service. So what did he do? He communicated with these people. He reached out to them and said, Mr. Smith, why is it that you're not happy with the service? And he was able to help and bring solutions to these customers. So what happens? You earn customer loyalty, right? Now they're happy to buy from Comcast because Comcast is fixing their troubles. So over that period of time, 150,000 customers were helped just by this one Twitter account. Starbucks, another example, they're doing it right. What do? They gave their customers, the people that are buying their coffee, they gave these people a voice. They set up this website where what's called crowdsourcing. They're basically reaching out to their customers. What's important to you? Give us some ideas. So what happens, you're listening now to your customer, and these customers, if they like your brand and they like you, they're going to offer you ideas. And guess what? These ideas could generate a lot of profit for your business if you listen to what your customer is saying, because the customer is the one that's putting money in your business and putting money in your pocket. So they did this, and they were able to generate great ideas, over 50,000 product ideas, and now they're getting free from the customer. Now, before social media, what happens? If you do a great job, then maybe that person tells 3 friends, right? And if the friends like the person that you worked on, maybe they'll tell another 3 friends, right? So that's word of mouth. Social media, though, has changed that. Because now with a click of the mouse, you can send a message to your blogs, your YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So your customer has a following. They're on there too. If they're happy with the work that they're getting, or people see the results on the people that you're working on, they're going to be able to share that with their social networks. But the beauty about the internet is now that message is now distributed all over. So now your company, the work that you do, becomes viral. And that's how you really blow it up with social media. Because one person tells 3, 3 tell 3, and then they share with their networks. And if they have a lot of followers, a lot of friends, then you're getting your brand exposed, which is going to help you grow your business. So we have reach nowadays like never before. This could work for you, or it could work against you. So make sure you harness the power of social media so it works for you, for your growth. Now you could embrace your customer. You could really provide them what they want. You could provide them great customer service. And even before that, you can make sure that you're on top of their mind. So if your customer, your client, becomes a Facebook friend of yours, now you're constantly on top of their mind. Because whenever they log into their Facebook, they see updates of your clinic, of your practice, of your business, and this is the relationship that you want. Because you're not doing much work. You're sending out maybe a couple tweets, a couple status updates, but now you're being able to stay on top of the mind of all these customers that you have. And if they interact with your brand, the people that are their friends are also aware of your brand. So it's important that you keep that in mind. So now the question is, okay, now I know that this is, social media sounds like it could work, right? Yeah, I heard of Facebook, I heard of Twitter, I heard of YouTube, but how can I put together a strategy that's going to work for me? So that's what I'm going to teach you guys now, okay? Number 1 is you got to establish goals. So, okay, you're going to use social media, but what's your primary reason for using social media? Is it to increase sales? Is it to build brand awareness? Is it to just maybe give your customers a better service level? Is it to communicate with them better? So you want to be clear about what it is that you're actually trying to do with social media. So that's number 1, be clear about what you're going after. So to make goals work, you got to first of all write it down. I'm a big believer, you got to write down whatever you want. Make sure you put it on paper. Be specific in your business, so be very detailed about your goal. And have an objective, have a way to measure that goal. Use the SMART principle: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and put a time frame on when you want to achieve this goal. Number 2 is to listen. And this is hard, right? Because we're so excited about sharing what we're doing, all the success that we're having, our business is growing, we're offering this new product, buy from us, buy from us. But all that time, all you're doing is screaming. You're standing on your soapbox, telling the world what you do, but you're not taking the time to really listen to your customers. So that's important. Listen to what they want. Maybe you find out after some research that your customers interact with your brand better on Facebook. Then focus on Facebook instead of trying to do Twitter because they're not using it. Maybe what they want to do is they want to see pictures. They want to see before and after pictures. So if you take the time to find that out about your customer, you can offer that to them on your website, through Flickr. Maybe they're really scared about doing a certain procedure because they've never seen it done before. So why not use YouTube videos to record kind of like a mini infomercial, mini commercial about the procedure, so you can then share that with your customer, and now they feel more comfortable with doing that process and doing that procedure. So listen to them, listen to what they want, because they'll tell you if you ask. And how do you learn about your audience? First, you got to know, who are they? Is my main primary target females? Is it males? Is it a certain age demographic? What's their personality like? Are they outgoing? Are they more reserved? Are they more, maybe they're not technological savvy, so it might be a little bit more difficult. But you gotta learn. You gotta find out more about what their personality is like. How or where do they consume? So maybe they're very in front of a computer, maybe it's an iPad, an iPhone, maybe they just have a phone. Just show of hands, who has an iPhone in this room? Just lift it up. Yeah, I saw a bunch of iPads here. We have an iPad, iPhone. So know what they're using, so that way you know how to communicate the message to them. And then you want to engage them. And the quick story I worked with a company that they did men's products, and for a while they weren't succeeding because they were portraying their product to a different target than really who bought the product. After some research, they found out that the main consumer was actually homosexual men. So they changed their entire marketing strategy, and in 1 year, they grew their business 150%. Just by switching and listening and practicing these questions and asking these questions, they were able to do that to their business. So take the time to listen and learn your audience. Number 3 is you build it. So this is a little bit tougher because a lot of people here are very busy just doing their job and worrying about the day-to-day activity. So it might be tough to build it, but you gotta find the time. And if you don't know how to do it, maybe hire somebody, look towards help, spend a little bit of time building the platforms. And choose the channels wisely. It takes time to set up a Facebook page. So learn how to do it or hire someone that knows how to. And there's so much social media out there, so many different platforms, so many different tools. You'll go crazy if you try to do everything. And that's not the point. You want to focus on the ones that are going to work best for you. So judging by what I've seen earlier and just from my limited knowledge of your industry, I would suggest Facebook right off the wall. I mean, that's the most popular platform. YouTube, Flickr, it's great for pictures, great for visuals. So these are the ones that I would recommend. But there's many others. So I guess depending on also the location, who's international, who's coming from another country, overseas. Okay, so we have a couple international, and for them maybe High Five works better than Facebook. So you got to really know your customer. And set your home base. All you guys have a website for your practice? Yes? You guys are falling asleep already, I see it. Hey, wake up over there. All right. But you gotta have a website, right? This is your home base. So whenever you set up something on Facebook, on Twitter, you want to always point it back to your website, because the website should have all the information about you, about what you do, about ways to get a hold of you, because I want to give you my business. So make it easy for people to get in touch with you. The easier it is for people to get in touch with you, the faster your business is going to grow. So use the different channels and always connect them back to your main page. Always point people back to that web page. And then engage. And this is where a lot of people ask, how do I engage with my customer? You got to start off by asking questions. And this is just from earlier in our conversation. Ask questions. Is there a certain product that you would like to see us carry? Is there a certain procedure that you would like to see us do? What's your budget? So I know exactly how to price my services. So the more questions you ask, you get them to engage, you get them to think, and that's what you want. You want them involved with what you're doing. You want them as a partner. So ask questions, and then choose the right team to engage. So maybe someone in your office is really not good with computers. That's the last person you want doing your Facebook. So make sure you choose the right team. Maybe you have someone young that's really into it and they offer help and they're able to do it, then reach out to them. Make sure you have the right people on your team. And that's true for any business. Because if you have one rotten apple, it ruins the bunch. So make sure that people are on the same page. And you as the owner, you as a leader in your practice, set the example. And participate. Take part in it, right? Timeliness, frequency. How often do you do it? If you set up a Facebook page and every 5 minutes you're updating something, I'm going to unfriend you. I don't want to be connected to you, right? You're spamming me. And who likes spam? Nobody. I don't like to receive tons of emails in my inbox all the time. So when you do it too frequently, it's a problem. When you do it infrequently, when you only update it once a month, then it's not really working. So find the right balance. And again, listen to your customers. Be transparent. Let your customers into what you do. So not everything is going to be perfectly rosy all the time, right? So you got to show your human side. Tell them that you're people. Tell your story. Maybe the way that you started your business is very interesting. Share that with them. Don't be afraid. You're a human, and people don't buy from companies. People buy from other people. So use that accordingly. Connect. You want to provide your customers with valuable information. So if you put up an article and you think your customers will enjoy this article, share it with them. You want to be you want to position yourself as a thought leader. Provide them. You're the expert. They're looking to you for information that's going to help them. So be that person. Be the one that provides that information. Make sure it's relevant to what you offer. Right? If it's completely off the wall, that it's not gonna connect with your brand. It's not gonna connect with your message. So be relevant to them, and never spam. So no one likes spam. Be careful. People are trusting you with your email addresses or your private information. Don't just handle it without paying attention to that person. So no, don't spam. Analyze and optimize. So keep track. And Facebook allows you to do that. You can keep track of how many people are viewing the page, how many people are interacting with the page, how many comments are being posted on your page. So the days, maybe this is a great idea. You use Facebook to do a promotion for a certain holiday. Mother's Day is coming around the corner. Maybe you do a special for Mother's Day. Now you can see, because I put the special out, the very next day I was able to get 100 people to look at the page. Out of those 100 people, now I got 3 phone calls from this effort. So you can measure the success that this campaign is having. So that's really helpful. And then using the different channels, these are just some, the ones that I think would be a good fit, YouTube and Facebook in particular. Facebook has over 500 million active users, so a lot of people are on there. It's surprising, but if Facebook was a country, I think it would be one of the 3rd largest countries in the whole world. So that's surprising, but true. Over 45 billion pieces of content are being shared every day. So people are putting their family pictures, or putting their videos, or sharing links. So I want a piece of that to be you guys, to be your websites, and the videos that you put out, and the pictures that you have, and the products that you sell. So you want to be included into this piece of the puzzle. 1.5 million fans or companies are already on Facebook. Make sure you're one of them. And by a raise of hands, I saw that a lot of people are already on there, so great. Keep that up. And every day, over 5 billion people are becoming fans of the brand. So they're becoming fans of your business, of your company. Coca-Cola has 14 million fans. So people are on top. They're doing something right. So you want to engage with them. Twitter, another example, 156 million registered users. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of people that are using that. 5.4 billion updates per month. That's a lot of updates. But this is where it's important. 31% of users follow brands. So they'll follow your company. And then the most important one is that 7.8 billion brand recommendations are being done every day on Twitter. And I see it all the time. People, my friends, are going on Twitter, hey guys, what restaurant should I eat at today? What do you recommend? If your company's on there, it's a lot easier to recommend your company. So now that message spreads out. You can get lots of clients by just being on Twitter and promoting what you do. YouTube, great example. September 2010, 144 million viewers registered on YouTube. So I recommend, do a video of your company. This is free publicity that you could get. Take advantage of it. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to do a commercial. You can do one on YouTube for free. So do a commercial of your business, upload it, share it with the people that are your clients, and maybe those that aren't clients will become clients after they see those videos. And YouTube is the 2nd most used search engine. So when people are doing research on the different products and services that you offer, they're going to go either number 1 to Google, number 2 to YouTube. They like to see. People are very visual. They like to see what you do. They could see text all day long, but unless I see a picture or unless I see a video, then I'm not really going to understand what it is that you offer. So use YouTube. And how do you measure? So everyone wants to measure results because obviously social media, you got to invest time into it, you got to invest money into it, you got to invest your resources into it. But how can you measure to make sure that it's working and that it's generating what's more important to business owners, our ROI, or return on our investment? So you do that by just measuring the reach. How many fans do you have? How many followers do you have? How many people are viewing those videos? How many conversations? Are people asking you questions about your brand, about your products, so you can measure success by that. The frequency, the traffic. You got to measure how many people are coming to your websites, so you know what's working and what isn't. So measure that. So that's a way you could measure success. Your influence, your sentiment. How do people feel about your industry, about your products, about your service? You can measure that through just monitoring it. And then even attaching special links. There's a bit.ly allows you to do a special link, so then you can measure when you put out a Facebook update how many people actually clicked on that link, and you could attach that to a special that you're offering. Maybe for first-time customers you give them a 2-for-1 or a certain discount, and you can track that, because if they click that link, they printed out the coupon, they came to your store, you're able to track that whole process. So you can see, wow, by spending X amount of hours on Facebook this week, I was able to get 3 new customers. So then you know if it's worth your effort. And it takes time. You might not be able to do that in the first month or the first 2 months, but it takes time. You do it consistently, just like working out, right? You can't go into the gym one day, expect the next day you're going to look like a supermodel. It takes effort, it takes time, and you build it. But if you build it, then those results are going to pay off, and you're going to be so happy that you actually started it. So that's my advice to you. Now, before we get Q&A, I want you to just jot down my email address. And what I'm going to do today, we're actually, my company, MediaWiz, we're the rated, number 6 rated search engine company in the entire country. And we'll offer you what we call a strategic assessment of your social media and of your online presence. So I'll take a look, I'll consult for free, and I'll let you know this is what you could work on, this is what you could do better, so that way I can at least point you guys in the right direction. And I'll take some questions. Yes? Sure. Send me an email, and I have a list of some companies that I could refer you to. I personally don't do that. My company doesn't do that, but we are constantly interacting with those companies, so we'll be more than happy to help. Okay. I have a question. Groupon. Oh, great question. So does anyone raise your hand if you know what Groupon is, or Living Social, or even now Facebook? Thank you very much. Facebook just launched a coupon deal as well, so they're jumping on the bandwagon, and it's great. It's great because it's working. A lot of clinics are teaming up with Groupon and these places that are offering those discounts, and you could blow up your business. But just be prepared, because sometimes, and I've heard some stories where sometimes they got so much business that the clinic wasn't prepared to handle it, and then they came off looking kind of bad, because people walk in, they want good service as well. So just make sure if you do a deal like that, you're ready to handle the results that can come out of it. But yeah, it's a great idea to build your business. Any other questions? We got one in the back, one here.
So how much time exactly would it take to build a business, a new business? Because there's so many avenues, so many options, that it seems like you'd have to hire a person just to do this.
It depends on the results that you're going after. If you're a small business, then it also depends on your goals and the budget. Ideally, social media and online marketing is the best way to spend your marketing dollars. I have a client, American Laser Centers, one of the biggest aesthetic companies in the United States. And for every dollar they spend on online marketing, they're getting $3.25 back in profit. So if you set it up properly, you could get great results. Think about it. Who picks up the yellow pages nowadays to do research? Very, very little, right? You go on Google, you type in what you're looking for, you get some companies, and that's where the marketing is shifting, more of that online, digital, interactive, as opposed to printing out a sign. And how can you really track people that are coming in based on that sign? It's very tough. So it really depends on your budget, and depends on the time that you have, but ideally it's a better investment as opposed to other forms of marketing. Last question.
Bueno, más que una pregunta es un comentario. Nosotros en Colombia tenemos obviamente un pequeño atraso con respecto a lo que es Estados Unidos, pero quiero mostrarles la dimensión de lo que hemos conseguido nosotros como empresa. Cuando hablaban de Groupon, sacamos hace 20 días a la venta unos cupones con un descuento del 70% en limpieza facial profunda. En 10 días habíamos vendido 180 cupones. Nos tocó parar la promoción porque las niñas de facial no daban abasto y las manos no les daban más. Y sin querer decir que en medios estemos ya tan desarrollados y tan organizados. Entonces es una herramienta de ventas que es 0 pesos, sobre todo, que nos sale totalmente gratis, para que la aprovechemos. Gracias.
Thank you, muchas gracias. Great point. Okay, she said that she had a great success with the campaign that she had in Colombia. She put out a coupon and got great results through the internet, and the results were so great that her workers couldn't handle the work, so they had to stop the promotion prematurely. But yeah, it's a great example of how you could get success. You could put a halt on it at the front desk and tell them you're no longer accepting coupons. Yes. All right, last question.
Yes, what would you recommend?